Alright guys, so today let's talk about crafting in Destiny 2, and did crafting ruin the Destiny 2 experience? Now spoiler, I think it did, but I'll be honest, this is a very elitist point of view for myself, and it's not representative of everyone who plays Destiny's experience. Some of you guys may agree with me, some of you guys may disagree with me, and throughout the video you guys are free to comment at any time your thoughts on this issue. I'm curious to hear what you guys have to think. But Paul Tassi, started this conversation on Twitter, or at least I saw it from him, and I was like, you know what, maybe today is the right time to finally make and drop this video, because for me this has been an issue I've been having for some time, but I guess the moment is appropriate now. So crafting was introduced in the Witch Queen expansion, and ever since then there has been something missing in the experience for myself, and that is the desire for new loot. Crafting has taken a hatchet at my desire for weapons, because 90% of the best weapons are craftable, and a player like myself who plays this game a ton, guess what? I don't really need to farm and grind weapons, because I more likely than not get the best weapons or craft these weapons pretty damn soon in a season. For example, the eremite, pretty much I think the best weapon in this season, or at least something that was introduced. I was able to craft it after the second day, or at least after the first day. The second day of the season, I was already crafting this weapon, and yeah, that is something that kind of hurts player engagement for myself, or at least the gameplay loop of Destiny 2, and creates a very unhealthy cycle in the sandbox. And what I mean by that is, if all the best guns are craftable weapons, then the urgency or desire for new weapons will never really be there, because the sandbox for the most part has been stagnated by these craftable weapons just being great and always being reliable, no matter the season, no matter the year. And for me, one of the best parts about Destiny 1 was the RNG factor. Now, was it the greatest? No. Definitely could have been punishing to some people. It could have been frustrating and made you not want to play the franchise itself. But for me, there was a lot of memorable times in that experience. Getting some legendary weapons I so desired, or getting that one roll on that legendary weapon was so desirable. Hell, even exotics. We've seen the Gallahorn clips. If you guys don't know, Gallahorn was nearly impossible to get. I somehow got that as my second drop ever when I played Destiny 1, like when it launched. I don't know how, but I got it. And yeah, it was an experience. It was an epic cycle to see throughout Destiny 1, and there's none of that in Destiny 2 now with crafting. So while yes, crafting has ruined the excitement for new loot, I do acknowledge that there is a sentiment in the community that they don't think crafting has hurt the experience of Destiny 2 at all. If anything, it has enhanced the experience for a lot of players, and while not one of those, it's easy to make the case for that. So for example, I play this game a lot more than other players. I am sure some of you watching this video also play this game a ridiculous ton, but not everyone is as fortunate or has the time or desire to play Destiny 15 hours a week, or more than that, whatever it may be, to grind weapons and get these type of loot. So for example, not everyone does raids, so getting a craftable raid weapon isn't as easy as it may be for a player like myself. So this is a system that really allows players that don't play as much to stay within the sandbox and don't feel punished for not playing this game very often. And when it comes to crafting, crafting does just that. It works for that one reason of bringing all these different players together, crafting these powerful weapons to just enjoy the game. And on that end, I think it is working very well. But I don't know. There needs to be some middle ground. And if I was to make the case for a middle ground between crafting and not crafting weapons, I think we need to reduce the amount of crafting weapons we can and how many they introduce every single season. New seasonal weapons in Destiny 2 have been craftable ever since Witch Queen launched. Every Season of the Risen weapon were craftable, at least the ones that were tied to the season itself. The reprisal weapons, not so much, they're still RNG based, but to be honest guys, like, do you even care for world drops anymore? I know some of these weapons can be incredibly powerful, but it's very rare. So if we reduce the amount of craftable weapons there are, so not every raid weapon is craftable. Like for example, let's say we introduce 6 new weapons in a raid. How about 2 or 3 of them are craftable and the other 3 are completely RNG based? I'm okay with the system like that. I believe that it makes the longevity of some of these activities last longer, because you don't have to not play something once you get everything, and there's always something to get at that point. But at the same time, it also gives players an option to craft certain weapons that aren't, every single raid weapon. I don't know. There's many different ways to address this issue. I mean, removing crafting wouldn't be something I'm opposed to, but at this point, I think it's a part of the experience. It's here to stay. I think Bungie needs to do a better job of not giving everything out crafting wise and reducing how many weapons we do get craftable. I know dungeon weapons aren't really craftable for the most part. We've seen that with Duality. There were 2 reprisal weapons that were craftable, but I want weapons from endgame content that aren't craftable. I think that's a healthy mix. I don't know. This issue has been bugging me for a while. I do think it has ruined the experience, but that's just my thoughts. That's just my opinion. Leave your thoughts down below. But altogether, that's pretty much all I have to say on this issue. If you guys enjoyed this video and found this video informative or enjoyed the conversation, definitely drop this video a like, helps out the video a ton. And if you guys are new here and want more content from me, definitely be sure to hit the subscribe button and that bell to be notified when I do drop more videos. But until then, that's all I got for this one. ShadowNinja here, and I'm out.